that's probably the biggest thing that I struggle with is, you just want to fix it all. You just want to make everybody happy and heal all that hurt and pain. But we are live now in the Facebook group. So you guys, I am so honored to be coming to you here as Justine Mater, and I've got Brigitta here to share parts of the Keep Smiling movement, value from her background in life and business. Without further ado, Brigitta, please share with us who you are, what you do, and how you get that impact across the globe.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. Happy Saturday. And, we just talked about before we came on live that we need more kindness. We need more love. We need more respect for each other in our world. And that's what I stand for. Brigitta Hoeferle, I have moved to the United States in 2004. In one hand, I had our little daughter who was close to 18 months at the time, almost 18 months. And my husband on the other, and we came to the United States to build a Montessori school, and we did that. And in the meantime, we built several other businesses, sold businesses. My husband does cultural training for companies that cross cultures. I own 2 educational facilities. One is for children. That's a Montessori school. If you don't know what Montessori is, that's not the topic right now, but do look into it, because Montessori is a great educational methodology. And then I also own my husband and I own the NLP Institute of Atlanta, which is another educational facility. It's all about communication. Guys, at the end of the day, it is about our communication. And one of the laws in NLP is, and NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, one law of NLP is you cannot not communicate. We're all communicating. If we're talking or not talking, we're still communicating. And there's a lot of misunderstandings happening, and there's a lot of misunderstanding just in the foundation of who we are. Let's just take where we are right now on the next day of the riots. And I don't come with the U.S. baggage. I don't. I'm German by birth and by citizenship. I'm also a U.S. citizen, so I have dual citizenship. I come with different baggage. I come with being born in Germany. My mother was a young child when World War II was going on, and she has incredible memories that are not good from back then. But we come with different baggage. It doesn't matter what kind of baggage we come with. It's up to me. It starts with me to figure out, what can I do to cut those cords? What can I do to make a difference? What can I do from here on forward to be kinder, to be more respectful, to have any sort of impact that I possibly can? And it starts with my actions, it starts with my behavior, it starts with my communication, it starts with what I'm modeling and putting out to the world, because that's what I'm going to get back.
Oh my goodness, so many points that you just totally set my soul on fire. Guys, to start off our morning, we couldn't have had a better individual to bring here as an interview. Oh my goodness. Okay, so several points you brought up. Number 1, communication. Communication is essential to any life, business, anything, truly. And you not only manifested that, but you gave the reasons why. And so I would love for our community to hear your insight as a communication leader on how, communication has changed. Now, even right now, we're in a new normal. I can't come to your house and see your beautiful office and your cool background. It's way awesomer than mine, if that's a word. But truly, it's one of those things that our communication has to evolve with our times. And now we're having to create a different form of communication connection because of the circumstances we find ourselves in. So I would love for our community to pick your brain on a couple of those things, such as, how do you have effective communication through a virtual world? That's a big question I've got for you.
Yeah, that's a good question. So you're right. We're creating a new normal right now. And our communication is not just our words. I'm going to give you a quick pie chart, if you will, and I'm not going to share my screen or anything, but imagine a pie chart. Imagine a circle, and a very small sliver, 7% of that circle is our words. Only 7% of our entire communication consists of words. 38% consists of our tonality, how we are, our tone of voice, volume, intonation, all of that. 55% is body language. So if we're only on the phone, or even worse, if we're only writing, texting, social media, we just had something happen on social media, just completely blew up. It's only 7%. We're not seeing the person that's talking to us, that's trying to bring their point across. We're not hearing them. We're only reading the words. So I'm going to put some more fuel to the fire here. So 55% body language, 38% tonality, and 7% words. So if we go by 7% words and we're only typing, and this is our world right now, right? I get so many emails, email campaigns, social media, it's all words. We do not necessarily see the person. I'm going to give you something real quick here. Bear with me. And I have a green screen behind me. So this is a green card, and you might see it or you might not see it. This card has a green, there you go.
There, I see it,
so,
yes.
Right, so these are the 4 personality types. Goes way back to Hippocrates. Hippocrates put humanity in 4 personality types. We all communicate by default in our dominant personality type. For me, it is the action. This is action, blueprint, nurture, and knowledge. So there are people that are very actionable, love freedom, fun, and flexibility, and just, kind of ready, fire, aim kind of person. Just go out and do it. Then there are the blueprint type that are very risk averse and very process driven and very structured in their whole approach. Then they're the nurturers. All they want to do is create harmony, care for people, be ethically and integrity. Be in ethics and in integrity. And then there are the knowledge people that are all about logic and data and information and the fine print, right? So there is no right or wrong, but if I only communicate in my dominant code, I'm doing what?
You're speaking to other people that speak that language.
I'm not speaking to other people. I'm only speaking
to the red. Yes, that's what I would.
Exactly. I'm only speaking to the other people that are like me, and I'm leaving out the other 3 personality types.
Exactly.
That is a big problem, and that's what we're seeing right now. I'm going to put more fuel on the fire. So say this is like a 4 cylinders, but we have to fire on all 8 cylinders. So then there is the representational system. Some people communicate more from an auditory digital point of view. They're thinking, they're processing the language patterns or a word catalog. Then there are the ones that are kinesthetic, that are the touchy-feely kind of language catalog or word catalog. Then there's the auditory that are having to hear it and sound it out and go through the auditory representational system. And then there are the visuals that have to see it in order to imagine what they are doing. So these are representational systems. That is the other 4 types. And if I only, and I am very visual, I'm a very visual learner and very visual person. If I only speak with my visual word catalog to someone that is, say, very kinesthetic, I'm totally missing the boat.
Disconnect.
We are not we're not connecting. There is no connection, right?
Yes.
Right now in our language, if someone does not have access to the kinesthetic, to the feeling word catalog, where we're all, it's called social distancing. I like to call it physical distancing, because we're so social.
Sister. Oh my gosh, I have a whole training on this. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm over. Nope. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you.
Right? So if we're missing the kinesthetic word catalog, where we are giving people a feeling, and if it's just verbally, we're giving a feeling with our words, then we can make a better connection. That's what we're missing right now. We're missing that connection. We want to connect, but we don't know how to. All 8 cylinders. We got to fire on all 8 cylinders, because let's put it back to what I said earlier. So 7% is words, right? If I only communicate in my dominant code here and in my dominant code here, I'm missing all of these.
That's crazy.
That is 1%.
Look at this. She is dropping gold here. Oh my gosh, yes. That's amazing.
Right? So I'm all about communication, because here's the thing. A very wise thought leader, and I can't remember who exactly said it, but a very wise thought leader once said, poor behavior is the result of a lack of communication. I'm going to say that again. Poor behavior is the result of lack of communication. If we cannot learn and respect the other language codes within our English language, then we will not be able to create a relationship, build a deeper relationship, close deals, any of that. It's all relationship.
Yes.
May you be in sales or not, it's all relationship.
Relationship based in communication. Wow, you guys. So for me, this is just so great to hear. My dad is a psychologist, 35 years plus. And so it's one of those things that I have not only done the personality test, the color test, like that's all in. I love that so much. But for people that don't know this, you literally, guys, she gave you the blueprint. So I would love for you guys to take a minute and write down on a piece of paper which one of those relates to you, out of the colors. Are you action oriented? Are you the knowledge, break it down, structured, nurturing, all those things. Break it down so you can identify yourself. Because once you identify who you are, and I'm sure you'd agree with this, is the fact that you're able to then identify how you speak so you can improve, right? Because when we accept something and we know it, then we're able to improve or grow it. And so I think that was just absolutely amazing what you shared there. You guys, that was fire. So I would love to know how your amazing message got connected with the Keep Smiling movement. Would you have a moment to share that information with us? I would love to hear it.
Yes, absolutely. And I put in the chat just now a little assessment. If anyone wants to do it, just go there and I'll give you a $97 report for free. So Keep Smiling. Ken Rashan, and who is the father of the Keep Smiling movement. And I have met, gosh, what was it the first time? It's like our paths ever since then continue to cross and cross and cross and cross. But I think it was in New York where I first met him when he had this, it was just a brainchild back then. And he had this idea of doing Keep Smiling books. And, we immediately hit it off because we're both actions, right? And we're both very visual. So it's easy to build rapport with someone that is a lot like you, right? So we hit it off. He took pictures of me and my husband and our kids back then. We were all in New York at a self-development program all together. And he said, I have this idea. And I said, I'm in. I'm always a person that says yes. Now what's the question, right?
Yes.
And that's how I got started. So I'm one of the Keep Smiling pioneers, if you will.
Yes.
I've always believed in Ken because I am always about smiling. I'm always about, putting kindness and fun out there.
Yes.
It makes life a lot easier. I mean, people that walk around, with a frowny face, I feel sorry for them.
Well, and like you opened up this session, you guys, if you didn't catch the first couple minutes, the first thing she said is that this world needs more love and kindness. And a huge way that we can give that is also by being that. And a huge representation of that is truly free. It's a smile, you guys. And if you have that pain and that struggle because of the circumstances that, we were just talking about not too long ago as well, the riots and just the pain and suffering that's truly affecting the globe. It's not, one state, country, it's the globe. It's one of those things that if we lead with that by embodying that mindset first, it's limitless. We're virtually limitless. Like our community here, guys, literally, there's nothing we can't do. Those ripples are endless. And, being a part of the Keep Smiling movement and taking on that to be a leader and spread that message is just such a noble cause. And I'm so grateful that you were able to not only connect with Ken and Andrea, but share some of that message here with our listeners as well. Oh, that was so amazing. So I would love to know a little bit more of your background. You're from Germany. You have dual citizenship. I'm more than half German, so I love kind of hearing how you say some of those words and stuff too. It's just so awesome. But what has been your biggest lesson in entrepreneurship, that tragic change in life? I would love for some of our young listeners to hear some words of wisdom from someone that's not new to this race.
Yeah. When I was in my teenage years, I was highly overweight, one might say obese now. I was also bullied. I was always wearing glasses, and I was never a popular child or a popular kid. And I felt sorry for myself. I'll be really honest. And I finally, when I was around 17, must have been 16, 17, I said, you know what, if it's gotta be, it's going to be up to me. So I got to make a difference for no one's going to, give me any handouts. And I read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People back then.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then shortly after that, I read Emotional Intelligence. It just came out. And I read Emotional Intelligence, and I was like, oh my God, there are other people like me, right? And because I thought I was like a unicorn, and I always heard from my parents, Brigitta, what's wrong with you? Until I finally figured out, well, there's nothing wrong with me. There's everything right with me. So how about we focus on what is right? And build that out.
Yes.
And I learned, to this day, I have this here, I'm going to show you guys. I have a mirror that's standing here beside my desk or beside my phone and my computer where I can see myself. And there's a little quote on here. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, smile, your joy reflects in your voice. And I made a very conscious decision to continue to smile at myself and start loving myself. That's where it all started. And it made a big, big shift. And I started to walk, and I started to work out, and I started to really love myself. And does it come up sometimes for me where I'm like, I'm not feeling myself today? We all have that. But it really made a shift. And that's when, and then reading EQ and reading more about that, I felt like, okay, pretty much I learned whatever. And then after that, I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and that became like my Bible.
So
I can, whatever I set my mind to, I can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I built my businesses. That's where I took on the answer is always yes, now what's the question kind of mentality.
Yes.
And I quickly learned a very, very powerful formula. And the formula is thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, actions lead to results. I'm going to say that again. Thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, and my actions lead to my results. When I wake up in the morning and I go, today's going to be an awesome day. Yes, we're in lockdown. And guess what? I'm going to make the best out of it. I'm going to go and do 10 Zoom calls, and I will be completely toast by the end of the day. But I'm going to do it, and I'm going to make like you said earlier, bigger ripple effect, right?
Yes.
That's a thought.
Absolutely. Yes,
that's where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings out some really, endorphins and great feelings that will bring me to my actions of, let's knock out those 10 Zoom calls. Let's make a bigger impact. And the results is the impact.
Exactly.
Now, there's a downside to it though, because that formula in our default often works the other way. But when we're aware of it, we can turn it around. Because how often have we found ourselves laying in bed in the morning going, damn, it's raining outside. I don't want to get up, right? And that just that thought alone, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything today. Thoughts lead to feelings.
Yes.
Those feelings will lead to actions, or maybe even to a lack of actions, and that will be your results.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what, guys?
So we choose.
She's on fire here. The biggest thing that I'm taking away from this part of the conversation is truly the fact that with self-awareness, we have the power to not only control our actions, but take it 2 levels deeper. Remember that your thoughts create your mindset, which lead to the feelings that you have emotionally, spiritually, and all those things that drive you. All the good things that you desire in life, they can be yours. Like she's sharing, she's been through it all. She's been in the trenches just like us, and it's one of those things that by being in the trenches and having gone through that, she's also mastered the ability to realize that when she harnesses the power of her thoughts, that leads to the feelings that support her action, that lead to the desired results. That's not something that, when we hear it, it sounds so easy, right? It sounds like, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. I can handle that. I can put it on one hand. But then to do it takes the discipline. And so I'm all about accountability. That's the only reason that I'm here is due to consistency and accountability for myself. And it's one of those things that has been something that I've not only developed, but I've been able to help my clients take on. But I would love to hear based on that formula, I feel like you have just a treasure trove of discipline supports and just even a couple of steps that people could start initiating today to become more mindful, to become more aware. I would love to hear your thoughts on how they can put a couple of actions in place today that could change their life, even over this weekend.
Well, yes, I love that. And here's the first thing, this and this. Write it down.
I've got it all over my desk.
Look, the hand is connected to the heart. Write it out, not on a keypad, not on your phone, but
With
literally what you want to achieve today. Put it on paper with your own handwriting. There's a lot of energy in that. When you write it out and when you are seeing it, then you can connect the next steps for you. If it's too big, start chunking it down. If your project is so huge that you're like, oh, I am so overwhelmed, because that's where people lose, because they get so overwhelmed because it's so big. They put such a big dream out there that it remains a dream, and they never chunk it down into action steps.
Oh,
so
that was beautiful.
I want you to dream big. I'm all about dreaming big.
I can feel that. I can feel that here, you guys. If you don't, I'm going, wow, that's a powerful red lady there. She's got this action momentum that's just unstoppable. But the thing is that you guys can be unstoppable too if you take that dream and break it down into tangible, actionable steps. And pen and paper, you guys. She said it. You heard it.
This is the first step, right?
Yes.
This is the first step. And for some, this might not be big enough. For some, it might need more something like this, or even, this size.
This thing is a whiteboard behind me. So I open up my cupboards and I go crazy.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. But then, then breaking it down, and then this is my favorite app, and no one has to pay for it. It's my calendar. Right? Keep smiling right here at the very top. Keep smiling. I have my affirmations in here. I have my daily action steps in here. I have my everyday planned out, including dinner with my family, including, I got to weed whack the yard later on, including my workout. Everything that I do is literally spelled out, because my second code after my action is blueprint. So I am also very process driven. If you say, you know what, this is not my cup of tea, then see it as a strength finder, and you choose if you want to make it your cup of tea, because this plus this equals a lot of money in your bank account. A lot of action and a lot of great processes, and getting organized is going to really make it a nice bank account. Absolutely. It's not either or.
No. And we can have it all. And that's just based on, even our power to connect and communicate with other people. So people in the Virtually Limitless group know that we actually introduced I'm one of the new partners with Trey Carmichael. And it's based on the fact that we're using communication to emphasize the skills and talents that we have in different departments. I'm not the tech whiz. You saw Trey was on here earlier being like, hey, make sure you're all set. Okay, we're all good. So that's not my department. I do what I can, and that's about all I can do. But where my light and area to shine is different. That's where keys to communication and communicating based on not only through voice, text, and all those things, but making sure that everyone's on the same page and honoring those communication standards is so important. But I would love for our listeners, we're having to wrap up here in the next couple of minutes. I would love for our listeners to know one fun fact about you that's not related to business. You've dropped so many gold nuggets. I think they're probably mind blown, but I want them to have a good laugh on a Saturday as our weekend is opened up. What's a fun fact about you that's not related to business, besides that you're German and you've got all sorts of other cool stuff too?
Well, I am not your typical German, okay? My husband and I are not your typical German couple. Like,
Love
they say that Germans don't have a sense of humor. No, we're totally debunking that one, okay?
Oh my gosh. I love it.
We're also, I had a webinar with a whole German team this morning, and I got out of it, and I was reminded of, oh my God, why do they have to be so dry and so serious? And so I'm like, get a life, just laugh. So here's one fun fact. Yeah, that came up earlier when you were talking. I'm like, it reminded me of back in my days when I went out to the clubs in Germany, and thank God there wasn't any social media there. So I'm just going to give you a little glimpse of Brigitta when she was around, you know, in her early 20s. But I went to the clubs by myself and you know, just wanted to meet cool people and just hang out and have fun. So remember, I started to smile at myself in the mirror, and I love to dance. I mean, to this day, I dance with my kids, and they're on TikTok, and they're like, "No, Mom, that's cringy. Don't do that, please. You're embarrassing us." So, anyway, so I went to the club by myself, and I would just dance all night long because that was my workout. I loved it, and I didn't drink any alcohol. Now I like a glass of champagne, you know, as a celebration at the end of the day. But people came to me and they're like, I want to buy what you have, and I'm like, I'm not having anything. It's pure joy of life.
You were being joyful from the inside, and that's just totally infused into your being, and you're sharing that with our community, and I can't be any more grateful than, you know, just not only the time, but truly you sharing yourself. And that's the greatest gift that we can give to each other, especially during this time of turmoil and pain, is to show up, even, you know, if you're struggling, to show up and serve another person. And that's what leaders do, and you just blew us out of the water this morning. So I can't thank you enough. People are going to want more of you. We only got started. I mean, a half hour is just not long enough. So I need to make sure that they know where to reach you. I did copy that link into the Facebook Live as well, so they're able to access you there. But is there other connections that you would recommend, social media, websites? You go ahead.
Yeah, just find me on any social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Brigitta Hoeferle, just like you sound it out, you spell it. I mean, it's really easy, right? Or you can also look for NLP Atlanta, Atlanta, and through NLP Atlanta, you find me. That's a little bit easier for you to remember. But yeah, you know, give me a shout out. I'd be more than happy to see how I can support you guys. I'm always here for you. Let's make a bigger ripple. That's what this is about.
Yes. Oh, and you're not making ripples, you're making waves. So I think that we're all on board. We're all on board for this one. And I'm just grateful to see that not only has, you know, life, you know, made you stronger, but it's just brought out the most beautiful parts of you by choosing to become the best version of yourself. So thank you so much for just giving us your heart, your soul today. It was amazing. It was truly an honor, and we will see you in the next time.
Thank you so much.
Take care and stay blessed. Stay safe.
All right.
I know stuff is going on. Stay safe. Okay?
You guys too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.